What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the podcast. As you notice by me, I've got officially green screening away for a new background of a football field. This is just temporary. I'm planning to get a baseball one for baseball talk, but we'll definitely have this for football season. Will be good for when I'm covering football. But at the moment, I've got this and hopefully getting a baseball one at some point soon. But either way, just gonna get everything set up and we'll be ready to go. Hope everyone's day is going well. For everyone's week went well. Getting ready for a new week. Got some stuff to talk about. All right, let's get right into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Betting in the Booth podcast, episode 127. Thank you so much for the support to this point. I very much do appreciate it. If you did not catch last week's episode, I was not able to do it live last week. I almost forgot to start. Sorry, because I was at the John Boy Talking Yanks event in Asbury Park, New Jersey, and basically by the time that I usually would go live with episodes on Sundays, I was already on my way to the John Boy event, which I barely even got out of there in the first place. I was cutting close to the trains, but I did make it. It was a phenomenal event. It was absolutely worth it. Uh, Phenomenal time. Got to meet Jimmy and Jake themselves. They did a phenomenal job with the event. If somehow they're watching this, shout out to both you guys and the whole John Boy me. You guys did a phenomenal job with it. It was an absolute fun event. I was happy I did it. And who knows, maybe I will end up with John Boy one day. Um, yeah, that was phenomenal. I was also at Phillies Padres this week. I was not at the Jewish Heritage Night. I was not at the Matt Waldron game. I was at the first game of the series. That was a 9-2 blowout. And the Kyle Schwarber show, which was kind of fitting for me, a Cubs fan, going back to Philly for the first time in 10 years when they sucked the last time. And Kyle Schwarber, the former Cub, has a 2-homer game. And it was just crazy. Also, the craziest part about that game was it was almost, if not completely, sold out for a random game in middle of June. Not even second half, not even in the stretch of trying to get a spot in October. In June was sold out. I'm like, holy cow! That's how you know how good a team is at the current moment. Which at the moment I haven't looked at how they're doing today. They just got to 50 wins. Like they're pretty good. I mean, they've been on a downtrend recently, but they're really pretty good right now, and it's just crazy. But I give Philly credit; they got a heck of a stadium. The best part was I had known about that they had markers for Old Veteran Stadium, but I wasn't sure where in the stadium where in the parking lot it would be. And thanks to a little bit of research before the game, because we basically got there right when the gates opened, we were able to find the markers. And for people that would want to go to Philly's ballpark, and if you're wondering for future, it's basically smack in the middle of parking lot U, which I think was Mike Schmidt. I forget which player, but parking lots basically are one player for each parking lot. And this specific parking lot not only has the monikers, but it's literally a site where you have all three stadiums in one area on one like perfect shot. Phillies here, Citizens Bank Park, Eagles here, and 76ers here, which I've been to 2 of the 3. I've been to Phillies and Sixers. I don't have plans to go to the Eagles, but who knows, maybe I end up going there one day. But I have been to Sixers. I was there for 2019 playoffs. But this, I'll show you the markers from the Veterans Stadium, their old stadium. This was pitcher's mound in the parking lot. Also, the tough part with finding these bases and taking pictures with them is some of them were not in the most safest of spots. But that's the pitcher's mound from the old stadium. This is second base, which is cool that they have these. This is first base. I'm like zooming in just to make sure I'm remembering which base each one is. And also here you can see Wells Fargo in the background. This is third base. And then this is also picked with, I think this is supposed to be home plate, but they didn't get home plate in it. But this is like a good pick with the ballpark in the background. Hold on 1 minute. There you go. Here we go. This is with home plate, and this is with my dad, which we both had a phenomenal time. Give credit, a heck of a ballpark. The coolest part of that ballpark to me, outside of the fact that it has a kosher stand, which is pretty good kosher stand, is in outfield in Ashburn Alley, named after Richie Ashburn. They have parts of the ground that are for every single All-Star by position that the Phillies have had, which is honestly cool that they have that in the outfield. Like, I have not seen that much ballparks. They also have a whole bunch of other cool stuff, but like phenomenal ballpark in Philly. And I can understand why people show up to that ballpark. And just had a phenomenal time, even though it was a blowout. It was absolutely worth it. I'm happy I gave it a second chance because it was absolutely worth the second chance, and had a phenomenal time and no regrets. But that's catching up with me. I do start school this week again for a month, as I am taking 2 summer classes, but I don't think that will affect much of my summer schedule of the podcast. Maybe I shift it back to Tuesdays, but Tuesdays will be tough because I do have a class 3:45 to 5:45. So we'll see. I have to see how this first week rolls around. I'd imagine at least next week will still be Sundays. Maybe if I see that I can fit it on a Tuesday, I'd squeeze a Tuesday episode, but realistically, it's probably going to stay Sundays. Until in the meantime, at least till football season starts up again, because then I actually want to get back to a Tuesday schedule. Plus, I might not even be taking classes in person in the fall. I'm still trying to figure that out, and that could also have an effect on when I upload the podcast weekly once we get into fall and actual football season. But let's get right into this week's episode. So, starting off with Sunday, Orioles beat the Phillies 8-3. Corbin Burns' 10th consecutive quality start makes him 6th Orioles pitcher to produce such a streak in a single season, and first since Jeremy Guthrie in 2007. Wheeler giving up 8 runs is most of the start for him since May 4th, 2018 against the Colorado Rockies, back when he was with the New York Mets. I believe, I want to say, but I might be wrong, it's possible that Corbin Burns' quality start streak ended as he did lose to Houston, but I'm not sure. What was this? Let's see. It absolutely did end because quality started 6 innings, giving up 3 runs or less. He went 7 innings, giving up 4 runs. So, yeah, that quality start streak is over, but still pretty good for him. And he's still been having a pretty good season for Baltimore in general. Nationals beat the Marlins 3-1. Lane Thomas is now homered in 6 straight games versus the Marlins, which is tied with Ronald Acuna Jr. from 2018 for the longest home run streak versus the Marlins. Mets beat the Padres 11-6. Lindor's leadoff homers, first for him since September 3rd, 2019, with the Guardians against the White Sox, and also off Dylan Cease both times. Giants beat the Angels 13-6. 9-run fourth for the Giants is most runs scored in an inning since May 20th, 2021 against the Reds in a 19-4 W. Red Sox beat the Yankees 9-3, which was the game I was at the watch party with John Boy. Red Sox 9 stolen bases in the game is most in Red Sox history for a game, ahead of September 29th, 1940, Game 2 of a doubleheader So, and July 4th, 1913, game one of a doubleheader, both having 8, and May 21st, 1934, 10 innings, June 18th, 1921, and August 20th of 1912 with 7. Boston is also 9th team with a game with 9 plus stolen bases since 1920, joining 2023 Reds, 2010 Rangers, 2000 Florida at the time, now Miami Marlins, 1999 San Diego Padres, 1996 Colorado Rockies, 1983 St. Louis Cardinals, 1976 Oakland A's, who did it twice, and 1976 Reds. David Hamilton's 4 stolen bases in the game alone joins Jacoby Ellsbury, who had 5 on May 30th of 2013, and Jerry Remy as only Red Sox steal 4 or more bases in a game. Twins beat the A's 6-2 in game one of a doubleheader. And they won game 2 as well, 8-7. Correa's 24 hits in 11 game span makes him first twin since Delman Young in July of 2010 to get 24 hits at least in 11 games, and one of 9 twin/centers in history to get at least 24 hits in any 11 game stretch, joining Tony Oliva, Rod Carew, Cesar Tovar, Delman Young, Joe Mauer, Shane Mack, Kirby Puckett, Chuck Nalbug, and Ken Turbeck. June 17th, Giants beat the Cubs 7-6. This is the Giants' 5th win when trailing by multiple runs in the 8th inning or later since May 22nd. Only one other team has had multiple such W's in that span, and that's the Kansas City Royals, too. Also, of course, this week, Willie Mays passed away. Rest in peace. Very top-tier Hall of Famer outfielder who also played in the Negro Leagues. Very good star. Sad to see him pass away. Hope all's good with his family, and rest in peace to one of the best baseball players of all time. I don't know, GOAT, but definitely one of the best that played the game. Also, what's crazy is MLB The Show put out storyline in memory of Willie Mays. Also in honor of Rick Woodfield, which we'll get to that game in a moment. And something crazy I wonder is the New York Giants at the time. I believe it was New York Giants days already. It might have been San Francisco Giants. But either way, they were $25 away from having an outfield of Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, and Monty Irvin, who Monty Irvin's like another top-tier Hall of Fame fielder, in the same outfield, except the Braves, who I believe at the time were Milwaukee, barely beat them out by $25 on Hank Aaron, but $25 away from that kind of outfield. That would have been whack. It could have changed a lot of history, but in the end, it did not happen. But just kind of crazy. But instead, they still had a pretty good outfield with Irvin Mays and Hank Thompson, another Negro Leagues legend. Also, Monty Irvin's also Negro Leagues legend, and Hank Aaron also. Anyways, Phillies beat the Padres 9-2. This was the game I was at. Schwarber's 2-homer game is his 18th from the leadoff spot, which is 4th most career multi-homer games out of the leadoff spot, ahead of Brady Anderson 14 and behind Mookie Betts 26, George Springer 20, and Alfonso Soriano 19. He also now has 60 career home runs in June in 172 career games overall, which is second fewest career games to 60 homers in a calendar month behind Juan Gonzalez 167 games for August. Also his fastest 60 homers in the month in MLB history, with previous record being Mike Piazza's 60 home runs in 191 career games. Rafael Marchin, who was replacing JT Realmuto, who was injured, which this was the craziest part of this game for me. One of the craziest parts of this game to me, aside from Schwarber's 2-homer game, aside from seeing Alec Bohm homer, the injury replacement for JT Realmuto, Rafael Marchin, who I vaguely known because of MLB The Show, but that was it before. He went 4-for-4 with 2 RBI hits. I was like, a what? Like, he impressed me. I'm like, are we sure this is JT Realmuto in disguise? Now, I know it's not actually, and I'm not sure if he's hit that much well since that game, but I was just like, are we sure this isn't JT Realmuto in disguise? 4-for-4. A backup catcher of not much shyness. 4-for-4. I was just amazed. Also, Christopher Sanchez went off in that game. When I was expecting this to be an offensive game, well, the offensive game just completely on one side. Even Vasquez wasn't too bad. But Christopher Sanchez went 7 innings, giving up 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Just phenomenal in the game. Also, 8 of the 9 Phillies hitters in that game had at least 1 hit besides David Dahl. Also, Schwarber's homer Schwarber, with homers, now has a homer in every 10.3 plate appearances in June, which is best in MLB history, minimum of 500 at-bats, passing Babe Ruth's 10.6. Bohm in the last 4 games up to that point, 611 batting average, 11 for 18, 4 extra bases, 8 RBIs, 1 stolen base, and 1 strikeout is a stat line that only 3 other Philly players have matched: Jimmy Rollins in 2006, Tony Gonzalez in 1962, and Chuck Klein in 1933. That is it from the Phillies game I was at. Mets beat the Rangers 14-2. Mets 22 hits in this game is most in Globe Life Field history by any team, as most they had since August 15th, 2019 against the Braves. Dodgers beat the Rockies 9-5. Freddie Freeman 5-walk game is tied for most walks in a 9-inning game in Dodgers history since 1901, joining September 28th, 1980 Dusty Baker and September 22nd, 1949 Gene Hermansky. That's it from June 17th. From June 18th, Diamondbacks beat the Nats 5-0. Diamondbacks' last 10 games have been decided by 5+ runs, which is the longest such streak since 1900. Also tied for third most overall in MLB history, tied with 1884 Altoona Mountain Cities / Pride, and behind 1890 Louisville Cardinals 12, 1894 Orioles, and 1884 St. Louis Browns 11. Mets beat the Rangers 7-6. Mets went 7-0 since Grimace throughout the first pitch last Wednesday. Ended the very next day as they lost the Rangers very next day. Dodgers beat the Rockies 11-9. Dodgers came back from down 9-4 with a 7-run ninth to win on the back of major controversy involving Teoscar Hernandez and Jake Cave arguing on the controversy. Second time in Dodgers history they came back from down 5+ runs in the ninth since 1901, joining June 25th, 1929 against Giants. Also sixth W in Dodgers history, went down 5+ runs in ninth or later, joining July 18th, 1957 against Cardinals, July 12th, 1929 against Cardinals, June 25th, 1929 again at the Giants, May 6th, 1898 against the Washington Senators, and April 29th, 1893 against Phillies. And that Senators, by the way, is the Twins, as the Rangers one didn't come around for another whole bunch of years. Brewers beat the Angels 6-3. Christian Yelich solo home run in the first is his 200th career home run. Congrats to him. And A's beat the Royals 7-5. JJ Bleday 3 doubles makes it 22 doubles this season, which is most by Oakland center fielder through the first 75 games of the season since Bev Reeves 22 through 75 games in 1998. That's it for June 18th. For June 19th, Braves beat the Tigers 7-0. Reynaldo Lopez lowers the ERA to 1.57, which is tied for second lowest ERA in first 13 starts of the season in Braves history since 1912, tied with 2002 Tom Glavine, and behind 1994 Greg Maddux 1.41. Marlins beat the Cardinals 4-3. Brian De La Cruz leadoff home run, and Jesus Sanchez back-to-back. First time Marlins have consecutive homers to lead off a game since August 27, 2010 versus the Braves between Cameron Maven and Logan Morrison. Orioles beat the Yankees 7-6 in 10 innings. Yankee stars have gone at least 4 innings in all 76 games this season, which extends their longest such streak at any point in a single season. That ended the following day as Luis Gil, in a 17-5 loss, only went 1 1/3 innings. Astros beat the White Sox 4-1. Hunter Brown's 16-inning scoreless streak is longest by an Astros pitcher this season, and first to have 16 scoreless innings in a single season since Christian Javier 25 from 10-3 from 25 1/3 from September 7th to October 1st of 2022. As it for May 19th, for May 20th, Rays beat the Twins 7-6 in 10 innings. Roy Lewis's 9 homers are 2 more than any other player in his first 15 games of the season in Twins/Senators history. His 26 homers are 5 more than any other player in Twins/Senators history in first 85 career games, with Cruz being the only other player with more home runs in first 85 games with franchise at any point in career. Orioles beat the Yankees 17-5. Of course, that's when the streak ended. Orioles have now have a streak of 22 consecutive unbeaten win or tied series against division opponents. The longest such streak since 1969 is Orioles 16 is Baltimore is 16-0 in series versus AL East since losing 2-3 on April 7th to 9th in 2023 against the Yankees. Orioles also now have now homered in, well, that streak actually extended. So I'm going to come back to that one because that streak extended. Also, this game, Art, is tied for second most runs scored versus the Yankees for the Orioles, tied with September 27, 2005 at Camden Yards, and behind 18 on June 8, 1986 at Old Yankee Stadium, and ahead of 16 on June 5th, 1989 at Old Yankee Stadium as well. Rickwood Fields game, the Cardinals beat the Giants 6-5 at Rickwood Fields in Birmingham, Alabama. Bama native Brendan Donovan went 3 for 4, 2-run homer, a double, 3 RBIs in the run. Big storyline of this game leading the Cardinals to a victory. It was a heck of a game. They did a great job with honoring both Negro Leagues and Willie Mays, who had passed away a few days earlier. And the Cardinals snagged the first one of hopefully many more games that will be played at Rickwood Field in the future, because honestly, it was a pretty good stadium, and it was a heck of a game, and hopefully we'll have more in the future. And the Padres beating the Brewers 7-6. Jake Cronenworth walk-off solo home run, his third straight home game walk-off run for the Padres, which makes it first time in Padres history and tied for the longest since 2000 MLB history with 2019 Dodgers, 2013 Rangers, 2004 Tigers, and 2000 Royals. As it for May 20th, for May 21st, Mets beat the Cubs 11-1. Mets was tied for the worst start record in May, and now have MLB. And at the time of Friday, have MLB best record in June. Just 5 teams since 1900 have had the worst or tied win percentage in MLB calendar month. Then best or tied next month, minimum 15 games each month, with the 1994 San Francisco Giants, June to July, 1985 April to May Yankees, 1982 April to May Phillies, 1959 April to May Tigers, and 1900 July to August Reds. Guardians beat the Blue Jays 7-1 in 7-run second for Cleveland. They saw 70 pitches, which is most by a team in an inning since Twins saw 72 in the bottom of the sixth on August 22nd, 2014. And it's just the 10th 70-plus pitch inning since 2000. Also, first time Cleveland scored 7 runs in one inning since fourth inning on September 17, 2023 against the Rangers. Also 5 walks is first time they drew 5 walks in an inning since August 6th of 2020 versus Reds. Also first time scoring 7 runs without a homer since the top of the 6th inning 10-3 win over the Reds on August 13th, 2018. Marlins beat the Mariners 3-2 in 10 innings. First time Marlins had 3 straight home games with a walk-off since August 9th to 11th, 1999. Tim Anderson had a 7 multi-hit games in the last 10, which is first such streaks for him since May 19th to June 21st of 2022. Also his 4th career walk-off plate appearance and first since August 12th of 2021. Also first time having back-to-back games with back-to-back homers for the Marlins in general in consecutive games since June 21st to the 22nd in 2022. The streak, though, would end after that day of the walk-offs. Rangers beat the Royals 6-2. Eovaldi is now the second pitcher in Rangers history to allow 2 or less runs in all 8 of his starts at Globe Life Field this season, since Kyle Gibson in 2021. In Texas Rangers since 1970 history and since 1972. Also, Texas starting pitchers have now 3 straight games with quality starts up till Friday. I don't know if that continued or not. With Michael Lorenzen, Andrew Heaney, and Nathan Eovaldi since August 13th to the 17th in 2023. Dane Dunning, Max Scherzer, Jordan Montgomery, and John Gray. Astros beat the Orioles 14-11 with 2 homer game. Gunnar Henderson has 24 homers this season in 75 games at a leadoff spot, which is 2 away from most in Orioles history, behind Brady Anderson 26 and 17 behind the MLB record from 41 from Ronald Goodney Jr. in 2023. Astros won despite allowing 18 hits, which is tied a team record for most hits allowed in a 9-inning game. W tied with July 18, 2001, back when they were in the National League against the Cardinals. Joey Perfito, 2 doubles, Astros 5 doubles in the 6th inning. his first Astro to do so in one inning since Yordan Alvarez on September 8th of 2019. The 9-run inning is most in Astros history since scoring 10 against the White Sox on June 17, 2002. Nationals beat the Rockies 11-5. Tanner Rainey threw 2 full innings for the first time since July 10th, 2022. Nationals' 10 extra base hits is most in the game since May 14, 2021. Their 19 hits is most since 20 hits against the Nationals on June 10th, or Brewers since June 10th, 2022, and most on road since 22 at San Francisco Giants on May 29th, 2022. Whew. A's beat the Twins 6-5. Royce Lewis's 10 homers this season is third most in MLB history and first 16 games of the season behind 2007 A-Rod and 1976 Mike Schmidt 12 and 2019 Aristides Aquino and 2006 Albert Pujols 11, and his 27th career homers and is fourth most in players' first 86 game. The players' first 86 career games in MLB history behind Rudy York and Mark McGwire 31, Jose Abreu and Cody Bellinger 29, and Pete Alonso 28. Sean Newcomb got the win without facing a hitter as he came in the 8th with 2 outs and picked off Austin Martin at first base. As first Oakland pitcher to do so in franchise history, and just 27th in Major League history since 1901 to do so since Giants reliever Tony Watson on August 30th of 2020. And the Padres beat the Brewers 9-5. Jake Cronenworth became the first Padres second baseman with 5 hits in the game since Alexi Amarista in 2012, and first to do so, including a home run. And then from Saturday, the Cubs beat Mets 8-1. Jameson Taillon, first Cubs pitcher with 10 strikeouts and 0 walks and 2 garbage on September 4th, 2020. Rangers beat the Royals 6-0. Wyatt Langford 8th inning grand slam homer marks first Rangers rookie to do so since Josh Jung last year versus the Yankees on April 30th. And Langford, at 22 years old and 220 days, is youngest Ranger to hit a grand slam since Nomar Mazara at 21 years old at 346 days on April 17, 2017. Phillies beat the Diamondbacks 12-1. Schwarber hit multiple doubles apart of getting on base 4 times for the first time in a game since June 8th of 2022. Nick Castellanos' 5 RBIs in the game is most in a game for him since June 2nd, 2023 against the Nationals. Twins beat the A's 10-2. Bailey over complete game, 4 hit, 2 earned runs, 0 walks, 10 strikeouts on 89 pitches. Makes him the second pitcher since 1988 to throw 9 incomplete game with 10 strikeouts or 10 straight plus strikeouts on less than 90 pitches, joining David Cohn's perfect game on July 18, 1999. He's also fourth Twin pitcher to do so since 1988, joining May 20th, 2005, Carlos Silva on 74 pitches. October 2nd, 1992, John Smiley on 80 pitches. May 17, 1992, Bill Kruger on 85 pitches, and September 26, 1989, Rick Aguilar on 88 pitches. Or Astros beat the Orioles 5-1. Jordan Westbrook's solo home run is second marks 21 straight games with the homer, which is the longest streak in Orioles history. And the Guardians beat the Blue Jays 6-3, but IKF had a 2-homer game. That is it for the notes. Now for a standings update, not including today's games that have gone final or start or not started yet. The Yankees first place at 15-27, followed by the 49-27 Orioles, followed by the 41-36 Red Sox, followed by the 37-40 Blue Rays, followed by the 35-41 Blue Jays. In the AL Central, the Guardians in first place at 48-26, followed by the 42-35 Twins, followed by the 42-36 Royals, followed by the 35-41 Tigers, followed by the 21-57 White Sox. In the AL West, the Mariners in first place at 45-34, followed by the 37-40 Astros, followed by the 36-40 Rangers, followed by the 30-46 Angels, followed by the 29-50 A's. And then the NL East, Phillies in first place at 50-26, followed by the 42-32 Braves, followed by the 37-39 Nationals, followed by the 36-90 Mets, followed by the 26-15 Marlins. In the NL Central, the Brewers in first place at 44-34, followed by the 38-37 Cardinals, followed by the 37-39 Pirates, followed by the 37-40 Cubs, followed by the 36-40 Reds. And then the AL West, the Dodgers in first place at 48-31, followed by the 41-40 Padres, followed by the 38-39 Diamondbacks, followed by the 36-41 Giants, followed by the 27-50 Rockies. And as for today's games, the only game that has not started yet is Sunday Night Baseball tonight between the Cubs and the Mets. Luis Severino against Javier Assad. That game starts at 7:10. As for the games that have gone final, which are a lot of the games that have started at this point, Phillies beat the Diamondbacks 4-1. Rays beat the Pirates 3-1. Braves beat the Yankees 3-1. Red Sox beat the Reds 7-4. Tigers hammered the White Sox 11-2. Marlins beat the Barons 6-4. Astros beat the Orioles 8-1. Cardinals beat the Giants 5-3, which, by the way, the Giants haven't won a game since Willie Mays passed away, oddly enough. Rangers beat the Royals 4-0. As for the games currently going on, the Guardians are beating the Blue Jays 6-5, top 8. The Rockies are beating the Nats 1-0, middle of the 8th. Brewers are beating the Padres 5-0, bottom 3rd. And Twins are beating the Athletics 1-0 through 2 innings. That's it for this week's episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you are new on YouTube, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and leave a notification button to notify when I go live and or post a video. If you are new on audio, follow the podcast, leave a review, hit notification buttons to notify when I post on there. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I'll see you next week's episode 128. Bye-bye.